Hello folks, welcome to the Vertigo Tea Party and a special quick-ish gameplay video of the, oh god, what is it called? Guardian Fighter. I always forget the fancy names that they use. So if you haven't seen, I also have one on the Control Wizard. I was going to do some others, but unfortunately the beta limits you to 2 character slots, which is unfortunate. However, I wanted to show you, some basic fighting with the Guardian Fighter, at least at low levels, to give you an idea of what it's going to be like leveling up. Obviously, things can change with this being beta, and sometimes classes just play differently when they're higher level. So let's go quickly over the powers. Again, we have daily, encounter, and at-will powers. And again, if you play Dungeons & Dragons 4th Edition, ignore these. These are not like you are used to. At-will powers tend to be abilities that you can use as often as you want. They are usually bound to left and right click. You can rebind these if you want, or use an Xbox controller, but by default the at-will powers are left and right click. Encounter powers are abilities with timers that are usually pretty short, anywhere from 7 to 15-ish seconds for a cooldown. Daily powers are a little different in that you have to build up action points, and building action points is different based on the class that you choose. For the Guardian Fighter, you actually build up action points by taking damage or dealing damage and using encounter powers. I would think they would put blocking in there as well, but apparently not. So, let's go ahead and go quickly over the powers that I have so far. Cleave is, or let's go over at will at first. Cleave is a swing through your foes in front of you. It's basically a frontal AE attack, just like you would imagine with a name like Cleave. It's my favorite. We'll go over the other attack here in a minute, but I like this one much better than the other one. Tide of Iron, smash your shield into a single foe and reduce their damage resistance. Recovers 10% of your guard meter, and we'll go over guard meter in a minute. And the last at will that I have so far is Crushing Surge. Bash your foe with a series of slow, satisfying attacks. The third track deals additional damage and will heal you. I'm not really crazy about this, with it being single target, especially when you're soloing, because your damage output is already abysmally low, and limiting it even further is pretty bad. I haven't played with it a whole lot though, so maybe it's better. For our purposes today, we will be using Cleave and Tide of Iron as our at-wills. Encounter, we have Lunging Strike. This is basically a charge like a lot of warriors have in various MMOs. Charge your enemy, hit him in the face. Very simple. Enforced Threat, forcefully taunt nearby enemies, causing them to attack you. It also does damage, so even if you're soloing, you still might want to consider using Enforced Threat. In fact, I like to use it. Griffin's Wrath, you lash out with a heavy overhand blow that briefly stuns your foe. That does pretty good damage. The stun is incredibly short, like half a second or maybe a second, but it's more like half a second. So don't use it for the stun. It's okay for an interrupt, but for a stun, it's not that great. Knee Breaker, break your target's knee, dealing damage over time and temporarily slowing them. I don't like this. The damage is really low, and the snare isn't useful. It's good for PvP, but other than that, not crazy about it. And the last thing I have is nice Challenge. Challenge your target, temporarily locking them into one-on-one combat. While challenged, you and your target deal double damage to each other and half damage to anyone else. That sounds very interesting. And of course, the idea, I'm assuming, is in instances, you use a nice challenge on a boss, and then you pretty much just go defensive while your party beats the hell out of the enemy. Daily powers, we have Villain's Menace, which is my personal favorite. Use Valiant Fury, you smash the ground, damaging foes around you. In your temporary fervor, you deal increased damage and gain immunity to disabling effects. Fighter's Recovery, you steady yourself and gain a vigor for the fight to come by temporarily healing. Gain vigor for the fight to come by temporarily healing for a large portion of the damage you deal. That one's okay, but you don't deal much damage, so a lot of times you're trying to get the most out of this ability, so you're not blocking. Well, you might block an attack, but it doesn't seem like the amount of hit points you get back is great. Terrifying Impact, give an exulant I don't know what that word is. Battle cry as you battle. Pulverize the ground. Foes hit by the upheaval are stunned. Not a huge fan of it. The damage isn't all that great. Actually, wait. It says it does more damage than Villain's Menace, but it doesn't seem like it does. I might start using that. In fact, yeah, let's go ahead and switch to that. Because my damage is already crap, so you might as well just use their damage. And the last thing we will look at here is combat superiority. You temporarily deal 10% additional damage to foes after they hit you, which is interesting. One thing that's not on here is mark. Mark your target. The challenged foe will have lower damage resistance and be more likely to attack you until they hit you. So I actually put a bug on this, and now I look at it, it's not bugged. Here's the way mark is supposed to work. Mark is supposed to work as a taunt. The problem is, when you mark, a lot of times, either A, they completely ignore you, or B, they'll attack you once, and then they seem to just go back to whatever they were doing. So in groups, this is a huge pain in the ass, because you had to just keep marking them, and a lot of times you're fighting multiple enemies at once, so something needs to be done, because it's, as a tank, so far, it's incredibly difficult to keep enemies on you, if not pretty much impossible. And we won't be doing any dungeons, but we will be just doing basic combat, just, again, just let you guys see what it is like. Now, I'm starting to get to the point where my damage is really abysmal, so it's not too great. So first off, let's always charge in first. Now, you can hold shift to block. Now, if you'll look on the left, you'll see a little blue meter with a shield. That's my block/shield meter. When that goes down all the way, I can't block anymore. So I want to go ahead and try to build that back up so I can block. Now, you can actually see here, I can block and continue to attack. So if you're not familiar with the attack animations of the enemy, you can keep blocking and just attack through your shield. And I did some tests. It seems like your damage is about the same. So if you have a lot of stamina, doesn't seem to be any huge negatives to just holding the shield up and whacking away. So again, if you've watched my other videos, you know that I am terrible at multitasking. So I apologize that I'm not doing a very good job at saying, okay, I'm doing this now, and I'm doing this because of this. There's not a lot of strategy so far, at least when I'm playing my my Guardian. Let's just call him a Guardian for simplicity's sake. So he's seen me. I'm going to wait till he tries to cast, and I'm going to charge him. Nope. It probably helps if you don't hit the right button. I taunted him when he was nowhere close by. You can use the charge move even if your enemy is right on you, which you probably want to. Again, you'll see I was actually out of range that time, but it hit me. The aggro ranges in this game are really wonky. So I have enough for my daily, so let's go ahead and use it. So let's go ahead and stun all these guys. And it looks like it only stuns in an arc in front of you. I thought it was AE. So it's significantly less useful. So generally what I will do is try to go in the crab walk stance here and use a shield bash to weaken the enemy. And then when you have a lot like this, you want to guard more, because unless you get lucky, they're going to be out of sync in such that, let's say if you're fighting one enemy, let's say I'm fighting this guy, right? I can just sit here and block him for a little bit. Even though that attack, for whatever reason, still does damage, even if your block is up. So, got my block up on this guy. So what I can do is wait till he attacks and attack him back, and then start blocking again. So let's do that. Alright, go ahead and hit him twice, block again. Hit him twice, because that's all you really have time for. Go back to blocking. Go ahead and use our encounter abilities. This should kill him. Wow. I wanted to kill him with a taunt. So you can do it that way. Honestly, though, it seems like it takes longer than just spamming the attacks and drinking health potions, which is unfortunate, because your damage at this level really starts to suck. Earlier on, it's not that bad. I could kill enemies pretty quickly, but now my damage just does not keep up. And fighting is honestly starting to get pretty tedious. I do like... God damn it, why do I keep doing that? I do like the charge move. I'm not too far away. Whoa. There is some wonkiness still with it. As you see, I kind of warped So I'm going to use my stun on him. Basically, you want to use your encounters immediately. I really shouldn't have even duck walk. So you see at the end, there you can see a lot of their attack animations are slow. They usually have mostly slow animations, and then they have one fast attack. So that one was kind of fast. These guys are attacking it. I was trying to show. I don't think there's any negative for you to have someone else attack your enemy, or vice versa. Yeah, I was going to attack that guy next. So you will see people attacking enemies all the time, which is okay. So let's tear this guy up if we can. I want to fight a really tough enemy. God damn it. This guy's going to aggro. Yeah, I don't like the aggro ranges. Seem to be a little overly large in this game. Especially considering these guys are a level lower. See, look how slow that attack is, but now I probably do a quick attack. See? Now, here is one problem. This is where the latency becomes a problem. They have these very long animation windows, these very long tells, if you will. I think because they know they have to. With it being an MMO, there's going to be latency. But even without that, there's been a lot of times where I know I got out of range or blocked in time, but I still took damage. So it's still a little not crazy about some of that, but there's not really much you can do. So let's take this guy out. So this is a pretty nasty enemy. So let's see if we can just block and use abilities to get our shield back up. Now I'm going to do it really, I'm going to fight him the dumb way here. I'm not going to dodge anything. I'm just going to block and attack, block and attack. Oops. But unfortunately, you do have to stop blocking to use your encounters. Every single time I let go of block, he does that. But the rest of the time, I'm just going to hold block and see if I can keep my stamina up. Alright, block that attack. Now let's hurry up and get our attacks in. He's going to do his little quick attack. Nope, he's going to do this one. So we're whittling him down. But obviously, there's much more efficient ways to do this. Gonna wait for that. Oh, gonna get in there. Gonna block again. So you can see my shield meter is starting to drop, though. Or my stamina. But, kind of got it right back up again. Watching out for him. Yep, that little attack is a pain in the ass. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it is a little annoying. See, he did break through finally, but he's dead. There are better ways to do that. If you were noticing, he does have different attacks that you can just move out of the way. He has two major attacks. He has one that goes up and down, so he just brings his club straight down, and he has one that brings it around. The one that he brings it straight down, you can just step to the side and completely avoid. The one that he swings, not so much. I think you'd have to get behind him, and it's not really worth it. I just block. So, honestly, that's pretty much all there is to the warrior. My problem, or the guardian warrior, rather, there's also a great weapon warrior, which is basically just a two-handed DPS warrior. So I'm honestly starting to get bored with this class. I really liked it at first. I liked the whole block mechanic thing, kind of like Lancer and Terra. Let's go ahead and kill these guys. See that to me seems like a pretty ridiculously long aggro range, considering they're a level lower than me. So you can also see the cleave hits 3 at a time. Or, well, hits however many, like this dude here. We're hitting both of those guys that are standing inside of each other, somehow. Now this guy's still alive, unfortunately. So most of the attacks like that, but of course I already hit twice, you can just move. So he'll probably do a quick attack now, block it. Now he'll do the slow attack. They're pretty predictable. Now he's going to do a quick attack. Now he's going to do the cast. So yeah, they're pretty predictable, at least so far. Quick attack. Nope. Sometimes they'll mix it up. But usually pretty predictable. As you can see, and especially if you watch my wizard video, this is significantly slower than what I was able to do. Which makes sense, obviously, on some lights because, well, the wizard is a mostly DPS class, DPS and control class. But it is still pretty boring to do, honestly. The good news is that you could probably get into instances pretty easily, because I haven't seen that many tank classes, or well, there's only one tank class. I haven't seen that many guardians, so it should be pretty easy to get into groups if that's the way you want to level. But I'm not been overly thrilled with the speed of leveling, and like I say, it's just monotonous, to be honest. Hopefully get into a PvP queue. I want to show you guys some PvP. And again, please keep in mind two big things. One, this is beta. Things can change. They could make changes to the class. Go ahead and join the group here for the PvP. And as you can see, the PvP queue is pretty quick, which is nice. But as I was saying, two big things to keep in mind. One, this is beta, so anything can change. Two, this is low level. I believe the max for the game is 60. I think the level cap for beta is lower. But I believe when it goes live, the cap is going to be 60. Go ahead and drink a health potion. I hate that bloody corners. That's incredibly obnoxious. Anyway, I believe it's going to be 60. So obviously a lot can change. Just like in a lot of other MMOs, sometimes you hit that magic level and you get the really nice abilities, which just changes everything. Honestly, design-wise, though, they should be getting better about that not happening. You should be getting your meat and potatoes abilities early, just so that you're not sludging through X number of levels because you have to. But let's go ahead and, while we wait here, we're actually going to swap out. We're going to get Kneebreaker instead of the Taunt. Actually, instead of Mark. Well, you can't. Oh. Oh, okay, so I can only put... Now, see, that is one thing about Warrior that's different. With the Wizard, I can put an encounter power in my tab slot. On this, I cannot. Oops, looks like it started. That timer is totally whacked out. As you notice, it went from 47 to 7. So we lost 40 seconds there. Anyhow, with the Wizard, you can put an encounter power in the tab so that you have 4 encounter powers. With the Warrior, you can't. You can only put Mark, which I don't even know if Mark does anything in this kind of a scenario. Let's go ahead and try to break him. But see, even as a warrior, you see I'm completely getting destroyed very, very quickly. Because you run out of stamina very, very fast. So I don't know how they're going to balance warriors. Because you, again, just easily get destroyed. However, with the wizard, I was completely destroying everyone else. Not maybe straight up in DPS, but your ability to control the fight and stay out of trouble is very, very high. Here, not so much. Make sure they're not. The other problem with Kneebreaker is that it goes off even if the enemy is too far away. So if they just happen to warp or lag or whatever right as you use it, you waste the encounter and have to wait for it to come back up. And I keep thinking for some reason... See, now I'm already out of stamina. So I have to back out. So they're going to have to do something about stamina in PvP, I think. God damn it, I don't know why I keep thinking... Now, see, my damage is not too bad. Of course, that guy's level 10. You can do a lot of predicting. I'm going to use my AE knockdown stun thing. I'm going to try to just block and do my best to hurt them before I get killed. Alright. Got a little stamina back. Oh, it's gone again. So yeah, your stamina regen in PvP is atrociously bad. And if enemies are targeting you, which, you know, you should technically want as a guardian, then you just completely blows your stamina out of the water. And this problem is magnified tenfold when you don't have a healer, which I don't know if we do. I haven't learned the icons for the classes, so if you've watched my Control Wizard gameplay video, which you totally should, you can tell this is way different. Way different experience. See, I did the charge, and for some reason it didn't even work. See, now I had my block up, and I still got CC'd, which I didn't think was supposed to happen. Now, see how I'm blocking the ice bolt there. So, and it very well, and to be fair here, it could just be a case that I need to learn how to use my abilities more effectively. Damn it, why do I keep thinking that's charge? Did you see how fast my stamina got completely owned? And then you just get CC'd to death, and now you're dead. So, two completely and utterly different experiences of PvP. One feels like you're a god of the PvP battlefield, and this, you're basically there to get your ass kicked. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to have to do about this class to make them useful. Maybe it'll be useful later. And of course you could argue, well, you need to stand back more. Well, if I'm having to stand back a lot, then what's the point? Like, why have me there at all? Like, I would rather have a wizard or something. Because it's not like they're wasting mana on me. They're wasting cooldowns. If there was a case of, and very short cooldowns at that. So if they were wasting mana or long cooldowns, that would be one thing. But they're wasting very, very short cooldowns on my blocking. I'm trying to get in here to use my AE knockdown. Nope, but no, I don't think it even went off. So yeah, even, I mean, it takes them a little bit longer to kill me because I put my talent points and whatnot into hit points and AC. But see, how are we winning? This score system is so weird. There's no way we should be winning right now because they have been killing us more and they've held more points than us. But yet, we're somehow in the lead. So I don't think that's going to last, but go ahead and use my... Yeah, I do not like that ability in PvP. I'm going to switch it up. At least I snared this person. I mean, the idea obviously should be that I'm taking hits while the group attacks them, but in any decent group, they would completely ignore me because my damage is atrocious. So they would just let me run around wailing away or CC me and kill everyone else. Let's switch this to... We'll try Fighter's Recovery. I think that's going to be a waste of time. But Fighter's Recovery being the one that gives me hit points back when I do damage. But I don't really do enough damage. How in the hell are we still in the lead? You see what I'm talking about? Like, this makes no sense. We should definitely be losing right now. Another problem is that movement in this game is painfully slow. And with a wizard, you've got the teleport. But with this class, you have nothing. Your charge is only usable if you have a target. Let's go ahead and... I think that... So I can't do anything while dazed. I think I snared her. Oh, that was interesting. Don't think that was supposed to happen. She used some kind of teleport. And see, and the animations are so insanely slow that by the time I actually try to hit her with that slow, she's already gone. You're basically 100% reliant on your charge attack. I mean, this is going better than it should have. Dazed. Oh, got her dead at least, finally. I mean, that went better than it should have. But to be fair, I've also been on 2-on-1s and wizards and lasted quite a while. So I was able to stay alive, but I wasn't really able to do a lot of damage, which I'm generally okay with.
Your team dominates.
But again, some of the animations are just so damn slow, it's painful. I'll try to call out when I'm going to do a knee breaker. What? How are we in the lead? I don't understand. This is ridiculous. There is under no way, shape, or form should we win this. Absolutely none. We have no right to win this. What the hell was that? I don't even know. Luckily, I didn't use my cooldown. Alright, I'm going to try to use a knee breaker on her. Alright, well, she didn't move. So you're just so reliant on your charge attack to get anywhere. What the hell? So, yeah, she's already zoomed away, so I have to wait like the 10 seconds or whatever it is to use my charge. That's why, if you watch... and then that kind of shit happens. So if you watch my wizard video, I think the same thing was happening, but in reverse, where I was the wizard and the other guy was the warrior. They just have no chance to catch me as a wizard. Absolutely none. Alright, snared him. Alright, you're going to start blocking. Oop, oh shit. Yeah, nope. Rogue got me from behind, which makes sense. That's what rogues do. So I'm getting a little bit better feel for it, but it's still not very enjoyable. You don't have the stickiness that some warriors do in other games, because your only real movement thing is the charge attack, and theoretically you charge and then knee break, but the knee break, just to show you, watch this animation. It doesn't seem that long, but that's plenty of time for someone. Keep in mind, I just ported to somebody who's running away. Like this guy. Like I ported to him, and now I'm going to knee break. But by the time the animation goes off, they're gone. See, I'm not even... Oh, looks like we're actually trying to capture this. I still have no clue why we're winning this, when there's absolutely no reason for us to do so. We have no right to win this, because we've been getting our asses kicked. So, whatever. I mean... Figure that one out. See, by the time I ported, she's already moving. Let's go ahead and use our ability. Oh, no, I'm frozen. There we go. Let's charge in here. Well, something's healing me. I don't know if it's somebody else or... There's somebody... Okay. Nope, nope. See, that attack does do good damage, though. Let's go ahead and smack the shit out of her. Alright. Again, you know, when you're doing this, always make sure you're standing. Luckily, they're completely ignoring me. Not that it matters, because my damage just sucks. I will kill steal that person. Knee break. I'm not even sure how long the knee break lasts. I was too far away to do the stun. Killed by a warrior. The shame. Oh, wait, this res this guy. I almost, like, ran off. So you can see you can res your team if they're still in the down state. But unless you have a healer, there's really no point. In fact, it's better to just let them die. Hey, knock that off. Stun. So maybe you need to stun first. Am I doing all that damage? I hate that. Whoa. Did we win? Why did we win? Look at that awesome score. That's another thing. Like, how are they going to score Guardian Warriors, I wonder, because their damage is terrible. So maybe they should factor in how much damage they absorb. I don't know. I don't know how you would do that. And taunts don't... I mean, it's hard to tell. I don't think they do anything in PvP. I could be wrong, and maybe that's part of the problem, is that I should be using marks, which is, again, that was the kind of your poor man's taunt, if you will. So maybe that's what I'm missing. But yeah, it's... I don't know, it's... If you can get in small group PvP, it's fine. But the minute there's 4 or 5 of them, and they decide to destroy you, it's pretty much all over. The party's waiting for you. Party waiting for me for what? Yeah, I have no idea what that means. Oh, I guess it leaves you in the party that you were PvPing with, which I'm not quite sure why that is. So anyway, yeah, that's the Guardian Fighter. I can't say that I'm overly thrilled about the class. It was pretty fun at first. The crab walk is amusing, if not degrading. But it's, like I say, it's interesting. Hopefully they refine it a bit. I don't know when this game's scheduled to be out, but it really needs to be fun to get more people playing tanks. I like tanks, but I usually end up playing a healer. But anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know if there's any questions in the comments. Unfortunately, by the time you post the comments, the weekend beta will probably be over. However, just let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.